Greetings, friends, and welcome to a brand new work in progress episode of 50 Years in the Dungeon, the show where sometimes I'm interviewing people who've worked in the tabletop game industry, and while I talk to them, I begin working on cartoon homage drawings to classic pieces of gaming art. Sometimes I just work on that art because I get it started in one episode and it's not done, and if I don't have an audience, I can't work. That sounds really needy. That's not actually the truth, but I got so much going on that this is the best way to get a bunch of it done. So that's what this is, one of the work in progress shows. I'm going back to a piece of art that I began in a previous episode, and while I do that, I am going to have a guest hanging out with me and chatting. This is a fine friend of mine who is also my co-host on the Sumo Show podcast. He's also a community manager and the host of a whole bunch of great live streams for Green Ronin Publishing, and that's what you really should know him for. Maybe we'll try and give some plugs for those later on while we're going. But in the meanwhile, I'm just going to bring on here. It is Troy Hewitt. Hello, Troy Hewitt.
Hello, Stan. How are you, my friend?
I am, it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday in the great Pacific Northwest.
It is. It's a great November 5th.
Yes. Today we had a little bit of sun in the middle of the day, and then the afternoon just got really gray and blustery and rainy and just perfect for getting some work done.
For me, the sun came out at about 10, 11 p.m. last night.
Okay. Well, that's just an epic life you lead.
Indeed. We don't have to get into it, of course, but it was a fine day at the polls. Is all I'm saying.
Well, that's a different kind of sunshine. Yes,
that's right.
Yes, it was a good day for America yesterday.
Yeah, it was indeed. Woke up feeling a little lighter than the usual, but then also knowing I was going to hang out with you tonight is always a delight. We do hang out with each other on stream quite a bit.
That's where it is, and I had to cut out. I came in Mondays. You do the Mumamo, the Mutants and Masterminds Monday show
We love it. Yeah, it's fun.
And I started to listen, and then I got pulled away and just disappeared on you. Poof. Not that it really matters. Like, you've got dozens of people chatting and interacting with you.
Yeah, it's a great community. Lots of folks come and hang around, and it gets a fair amount of folks for our niche little subject, which is it's the official show about the only superhero TTRPG out there, Mutants and Masterminds.
You know what? I get that. You say that to your crowd, but you say that in front of my crowd, and they'll get all pedantic on you.
I know. I love it. It just it tickles me. It really fuels me. It gives me life when people take that seriously. And there's a couple who have, and they're like,
yeah.
That's not exactly true. I'm like, no, it is. I promise you, it is. I guarantee it is. And they're just like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm like, I think you're wrong. And so it goes. Those poor dummies. But it's a lot of fun. Of course, I'm on there with Alex Thomas, who is the line lead for Mutants and Masterminds, and the amazing, celebrated, incredibly talented, so sweet, brilliant Steve Kenson, who is just an absolute delight in every way.
True.
Every day.
Not that we're saying Alex is a sack of potatoes.
Right? We got Alex, and
then we got Alex, and then we have this. All of the adjectives, Steve.
No, they are both wonderful. Alex, of course, just as brilliant and creative. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but a singer. We went out to karaoke at Gen Con time, and he just busted out his show tunes voice, and I was just like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, well, you know that I do a little singing too.
I do. I do. It's one of my favorite things about you. You tend to like I can be sort of obtuse at times on purpose and sometimes not. When I'm like, hey, you know that song about that one thing and the one time that they said that one stuff, and you're like, oh, is it this? You're like spot on. But yeah, no, you got an excellent singing voice. Do you do karaoke?
I used to do a lot of karaoke, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but not these days. Not so much.
Not so much. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I used to be like 5 nights a week karaoke.
yeah. Oh, really? You were like super karaoke guy.
Well, I
Where would
mean,
you?
well, not in the Seattle area. This was when I mean,
Oh,
in Japan, it was kind of you went out, you had to karaoke. That was just how it went. It was just part of a night out. But in
yeah.
when I was living in San Diego, um, the the bar that I used to hang out at was a karaoke bar. So I would
I see.
that was my evening activity, was to go
Fun.
hang
Yeah,
out.
we ought to do something something like that at a at maybe at a future Gen Con or something, but just kind of maybe have you and Alex do like dueling karaoke.
Oh, maybe we could do a duet of some sort.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be
I
exciting.
like it. Well, I'm trying to think of what's a good duet for you two. Probably Islands in the Stream.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm sure we could do Summer Lovin'. That'd be awesome too.
Yes, that would be awesome for all involved. So what drawing are you finishing up tonight?
Tonight, I'm working on a drawing that's based on a classic Dragon magazine cover.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
uh, it's from Dragon magazine number 86, and it's by Denis Beauvais, one of my favorite Dragon magazine cover artists. And it's the first. He's really well known for having done a series of chess themed Dragon magazine covers.
Oh,
And
like the game of chess.
yeah, yeah, well, why don't I show you? I don't know
Yes.
why.
Good. While you're pulling that up, I want to say, hey, Michael in chat, good to see you, my friend. Uh, I've been very reticent to challenge your claim, Troy. Don't fall for the trap, Michael in chat. Don't fall for the trap. The trap. David Shepard says, I was always sad that Green Ronin did not manage to get their version of Dragon Fist published. Not yet.
You never can tell.
Yeah, it's one of those things, but it's we've talked about it. We've talked about it at great length, and as the official sentiment gatherer, I will tell you that I've taken it directly to the source, and we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, it's well known that people want to see that. Alex is just a double threat as far as I know. I haven't seen him dance. No, but he does excellent open heart surgery.
There you
Hey,
go.
Dale. Dale's in chat. Hey, Dale. Good to see you, friend.
Do you want to build a snowman? Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
I don't know.
All
That's
right,
a good one. I
so
like it.
this is the thing that we're going to be working on. This is Dragon Magazine.
Ooh. Oh, yes, I've seen this.
Yeah, no, he
Iconic.
They did 3 chess themed covers for Dragon. This I think was the first one. And they all have some kind of chessboard with monsters or creatures fighting each other on it, and they're all classics. This one I started during episode 86 of the show when I was talking to Bart Carroll from who was a community lead at Wizards for D&D for quite a long time, and this he requested this for the drawing because it was the cover of the first D&D product that the thing that pulled him in. He saw this on the newsstand and he was like, "What is that?" And it pulled him in.
That's cool.
And he said that one, and I said, "I love that cover. I want to draw that." So
this image is burned into my brain. Also, David does sort of look like the weird chessboard set from Star Trek.
The 3D chess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So um yeah. So that's what we're
Nice.
working
Yeah,
on
even
today.
just your scribbles are awesome. I couldn't hope to be even that good.
Well, as I say whenever it comes up, I know how you do it, and that's put in 20, 30 years of practice.
Oh, I'll start today.
Yeah. Well, there's a
Well,
lot of really good stuff in the middle. It's not like anything short of this is Swiss cheese, right? It's
yeah, I mean, I think if people want to draw, they ought to draw, and opinion is be damned on the quality. Like you just get in there and do a thing. If you love
yeah.
it, then you do it. Um, yeah, I've
I
never
mean,
been compelled to draw. I mean, I've drawn some, rude pictures
all
of
right.
people and
So
stuff.
let's turn off some of these layers here.
Okay.
Uh, turn off that, 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 and we'll just keep our two characters on there for the moment. Make it easier for me to see what I'm working with.
Fair enough. No, I
Um,
was thinking. Oh, go
Go
ahead,
ahead. No,
please.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking about some stuff that I'm curious about. You and I work so closely together and so frequently.
Mm.
I was thinking that okay, Michael Justin. Speaking of community lead on mastering dungeons today, they talked at great length about organized play and living Greyhawk today. Stan. They
Mm.
also talked with Shannon.
They talked with Shannon Applecline.
Yeah,
Um,
about what's living Greyhawk.
Living Greyhawk. So there were when the RPGA was um, the main. Uh, uh, wow, that's a sentence that could go several different ways. So, the you remember the RPGA? Do you remember the RPGA at all? Because
No, I
you
don't.
you are newer to the industry. Uh,
Yeah, newer to the yeah. I was in video games for
right.
20 years.
So the RPGA for a long time was organized play. It is the beginning of mass organized play in the industry. It was run by TSR and then taken over by Wizards. It in various incarnations had focused on all games. Like in fact, the RPGA was not D&D focused, although at times it became only D&D focused. But they would run tournament what they refer to as tournament uh, events at conventions, and you could have and the idea, in fact, you would play the game, and there would be a winner at the table. You would be judged on by the other people at the table on how you did playing and knowing the rules and playing your character. And but in its earliest incarnations, these were all pre-generated characters that came for uh, each adventure.
Got it.
And people really wanted to play their own characters like they did in their campaigns. And over time, the RPGA started doing what they called living campaigns. Living City was the first really big living campaign, and it ran for quite a long while. And you had your own character that advanced over time, and you had you could when you got special treasure, you'd have a certificate that proved that you couldn't just come in and say I had a +2 sword. You had to have a certificate for your sword. So
Oh,
and this
interesting.
is of course is all in pre-digital era, and I mean there's a lot of history and stories about RPGA. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
to go to the question, Living Greyhawk was the big thing that Wizards RPGA launched after Living City, or I guess it ran alongside Living City too. But it was a an effort to have uh, organized play everywhere in the world
Yeah.
where you could take your character from one place to another and just find a convention that had a living city or a living Greyhawk games and play them. And some of the games were only in a certain area, and some of the games were distributed worldwide. But it was a big ongoing uh, meta campaign that
Yeah. Yeah.
through organized play, and
Interesting.
was it had many people who loved it, many people who really loved it, and a few people who couldn't stand it.
And
Like so many.
was it did people feel like it was gimmicky or something, or what?
Well, I mean, no, it's just it was. It also was where um, canon for the setting of Greyhawk went to live
Okay.
for a while, and so Greyhawk fans had feelings about it, and they basically they made it so that different geographic parts of the world corresponded to different geographic parts of Greyhawk.
And
And
so does that mean that time passed like real time? Like, I mean, was there?
I doubt it was real time. I'm not 100% sure on what the passage of time when I know they talked about it. It was given a calendar year in the world of Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. And so now the certificates and things, how would that come about?
well,
Would you have
you
something
had
that
to
was like
you got them at the con, and
oh,
they were prizes that you got for playing in the events, and they had to be signed by the RPGA, notarized as it were. You couldn't just so that you couldn't fake it, although people sometimes tried.
oh,
But
certainly imagine, yeah.
um,
Very interesting. Okay, so you've got people playing in a geographically significant or different or dynamic, I'll say, with characters that they are ostensibly leveling up in these experiences. Were there any games that happened outside of conventions, or were they
oh yeah,
largely?
no, that was the thing that they started with. One of the things that with Living City was that people always wanted more, always wanted. You couldn't
Yeah.
make enough of them, and this was not a profit center for TSR, but it had a significant cost to generating all that
Oh,
material and
certainly.
tracking it.
Yeah.
So, one of the ideas with Living Greyhawk was that you could Wizards. I don't remember how they did it, but there were groups that were officially put in charge of a region, and they got to approve adventures for their region, and so
Interesting.
you could get things. It became much easier to get more material out, and again, material that was suited to your local region.
Fascinating. Okay, and so was that material created by the people participating,
Yeah,
or
the
was it
people in
the
charge of the region, the local council, I think they called them. I don't remember. Uh,
triads? Okay, David Shepard says the
oh
group.
yeah, yeah, the regions were called triads. Yes, I know people who were into it. People who were into
Yeah.
it, fan buys like David or Michael, or people who approach it from there will definitely have stronger memories of it because although it happened while I was in the building and I participated in parts of it, and we were all kept abreast of what was going on. This, of course, there's things that were 25 plus years ago, and
Yeah.
um, were not the front things on my burner.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds pretty that at least it transitioned to being a largely fan run endeavor, or
Uh,
were the paid staffers who focused on?
I don't think it was a paid position, though RPGA for always had prizes that you could win.
Yeah.
And some people got like credits in the Wizard store, right? So I think that were paid in product.
Oh, certainly. Okay.
But again, there's a bit that I don't really remember clearly. So I'm as likely as
Interesting.
not to give a wrong answer.
And so that started in
The
the
Living
80s?
Greyhawk started right as third edition started, so right around 2000, 2001. Living
Okay,
City
so not
went
too
back
far.
a long time.
Yeah.
And RPGA went back all the way to early uh, TSR. It was the official. It was the Role Playing Game Association. It was the Role Playing Game Association, RPGA.
Very interesting. So what happened to it? Is it still around?
No, RPGA no longer is around. Like I say, they're about the same time that Paizo got spun off into its own company from being the Wizards um, periodicals department. That was
Yeah.
during the era when Wizards as a company was kind of getting rid of things that weren't actually that weren't profit centers and had all
Yeah.
these costs and were beloved of the fans. But you know what? Wizards didn't want to pay to do that anymore.
Right. They'll probably
And
focus
you
on the
know,
core and streamline their profit centers and
yeah, no, a lot of us gave a lot of arguments like you don't understand. These are very important. Think of it as marketing, but the marketing team didn't want to think of it as marketing. They had their own budget. They didn't want to lose their budget to RPGA.
Yeah. Yeah. That's too bad. That is too bad.
So RPGA always had was always a little controversial. Again, in part because it was run by TSR and Wizards, right? So uh, even when they were supporting other companies' stuff, the other companies were a little suspicious of that. And then there was always people in house who were like, "Why are we supporting other companies? Why are we running these things for other companies?" And the answer at its best was, well, because this RPGA is not a D&D marketing thing, except it kind of is.
Right. But it's a
This is
community
for our
building.
fans.
Yeah.
So
One could argue too that it's good to people are playing and they're
yeah.
doing it in a big public way. Yeah.
So many people did argue that, but in the end, corporate winds shift and flit about, and eventually it was deemed that we don't need to spend any more money on this RPGA thing. It's just going to quietly, or not so quietly, go away.
Okay. Now, what does that mean?
Well,
Not so
because
quietly.
the fans, the people who wanted it to go away wanted it to just go away, and the fans would not give it up quietly,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it became one of those. Well, we just don't talk about it.
Wow. Yeah. It seems like something with such incredible impact. I mean, were there any elements or programs that popped up from the community to kind of try to replace the RPGA?
There were other people that have tried to do it, but you know what? It's hard, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
expensive. Right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think anyone until they tried to do it. No one ever really appreciated how much time, money, and energy it took to run that thing.
I'll
And
tell you,
most
there
of
are.
the time, RPGA, in most of its iterations, were run by like two people.
Yes, always the case. Yeah, that is, so there are a lot of great real life guilds and groups and people that
Yeah,
that dabble in the community management arts, both professionally and I'm not even going to say amateur because they're not. They're doing just as much
yeah,
work as as an old community nerd like me. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty remarkable things. I mean, my start in gaming was because of Ultima Online,
Yeah.
and I basically they had what they called an interest program, something that a program of that same name. We're starting with Green Ronin, but I can talk about that
Mm.
later. But it essentially it was this kind of X factor moment within the game, this sort of unknown quantity of with creative people playing living NPCs
Yeah.
in the cities, and they would like I'm trying to remember the name of my guy, but you would actually take over a building in a city, and it would be yours, and you can based on your design and your character role, you could be the mayor of whatever, and or a detective or a monster hunter or you name it. And I think I was a mayor, but that's when I was like, I really want to do this kind of work, and ended up doing that for the rest of my career. I had a few jobs that were unrelated to gaming, but after that, after getting bit, it was my mission to work in the industry, and I did. And there's just a lot of really interesting, big, sort of, I guess I'll even say international gaming groups that started as a small guild and
Yeah.
then grew into giant, almost uh, super clubs, I guess. Virtual Foursquare for nerds. Okay, I get it. Oh, I was just reading chat real
Yeah.
quick. David Shepard says most of the rest of the support for Living Greyhawk was PDF downloads.
Yeah. Certainly the coming of digital transfer made it a lot easier because you used to, if you wanted to get an RPGA event at your convention, you had to apply
Oh,
months ahead of time. And I don't think there was a lot of rejection involved, although I don't know for sure. I wasn't involved.
yeah.
But you and they would send out these tournaments for you to run at your convention, but you had to report back the results, and they RPGA tracked over time how things went, what the results at the tables were. If you didn't send it back, well, your convention wouldn't get support next time.
Wow, wow. Yeah, very serious stuff.
Um, yeah, it was
I was going
something
to ask
else.
you, Stan, well, there's two things I wanted to ask you. One is, I want to do, this is going to sound so stupid, but I can't help it. I want to do like a personality test
Uh huh.
for on you.
On me.
Yeah,
All right. I hate personality tests, but
I do. Well, I don't hate them. I find them to be largely, I don't
yeah.
know. But I thought it would be interesting. And then the other thing I wanted to do was I don't think we've ever talked about like your, and if you've already discussed this on what is this program, Stan's Dungeon. If you've already if you've already discussed this
it most decidedly is not Stan's
on
Dungeon.
Stan's Dungeon .com. If you have already shared, but I'm curious, like really your origin story, like how did you get wrapped up into TTRPGs and this? There's it's interesting because there's, or as ubiquitous as hobby gaming is, whether it's tabletop or video or
Yeah.
you name it, it is still largely a very small group of people that cross over from a participant to actually doing the stuff. And so yeah, Ultima Online was the first MMORPG based on that model. Interesting. Uh, Michael in chat says, I'm a qualified MBT one trainer, Troy. I can administer the indicator.
I don't know
Stan
that I
needs
like the
to.
sound of that.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds very clinical. Um, Oh, Myers-Briggs. I bet that
Oh
is.
God, yeah. Oh, Myers-Briggs. Screw
Do you know what
Myers-Briggs.
your Myers-Briggs is?
So you know what? I don't. It's not so much that I dislike uh, personality tests. I dislike how seriously people take personality tests.
I agree. I
I
agree.
took, when I got, I didn't get an MBA, but I went for uh, a certificate, a management certificate at UW.
Yeah.
Wizards sent me to that when I was going to get into a management role. It was like a 9 month mini MBA in
Yeah.
different sections. And Myers Briggs was in one of the sections. We had a whole thing about Myers Briggs and uh, you just aren't listening, or whatever the name of that book was. And uh, yeah, so we spent a lot of time talking about it and looking into it. And I was like, all right, I get it. I see what it does. It it does a certain thing well. But the people that loved it um, just made me want to throw it in the river.
I get it. And Michael in chat, being a administrator for the Indicator, um, is says
Administrator for the Indicator. You sure that's not part of a rap song?
that or some
The
kind of
administrator
medical
for the
procedure.
Indicator.
But Michael in chat says, "Be careful, Stan."
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Michael in chat. I think that there is a certain kind of person that gets wrapped up in the Myers-Briggs, or not just Myers-Briggs, because I actually like Myers-Briggs. I think it's as a
Yeah,
ice
I was going to say
fairly
of
accurate.
we Myers Briggs wasn't the only one we looked at, and I will say Myers Briggs was among the best. But even having
Yeah,
said that, it's still I got very tired of it.
yeah. I can certainly respect that. I have. Coming from a person who has always facilitated group conversation and connection between people who don't know each other. The Myers Briggs was always a nice way of breaking the ice, and you
Yeah,
could get to, the designation relatively painlessly. You didn't have to go through a bunch of trauma bonding to kind of
right.
find out, who you were. Um, Michael in chat says I use different applications and indicators now. Very interesting. Do
Okay.
you some kind of a scan? I'm presuming some kind of sample of the thinking meats, DNA, and otherwise. Disc is the one to be afraid of. Interesting. I don't know what disc is, but
I don't know
I
this.
was thinking of there's kind of a lot of people are talking about it, but I think it's engram.
The well, are you talking about the Enneagram? Because Engram is what goes along uh, with Dianetics. What's it?
Oh, it's not.
Scientology.
No. This is the Enneagram, but
The
that I've just
Enneagram, yeah. Well, I love
kind of.
You know what? In form, I love the Enneagram. I'll tell you a thing I was involved with um, that didn't come to pass, and I'm
Mm,
kind of sad. A friend of mine came to me once and said, "Do you think it's possible to do a personality test based on the D&D alignment system?"
oh, that's fun.
And
Yeah.
I thought about it with the nine categories, and I said, "Yeah, just break down the Enneagram and assign things instead of having the Enneagram outputs. Have the outputs be different. The thing I just said. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, you come with your why am I why am I fucking blanking on the word I said a minute and a half ago? Uh, so you come back instead of getting an Enneagram rating, you wind up being lawful or lawful good or
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
the nine grid points.
I worked with a guy once that, because I used to do a lot of public speaking and for TTRPGs or not TTRPGs, sorry, for MMORPGs and community management, and we had there's a guy, his name is Richard. It's not Garriott, it's Richard. Oh, he's British and MMORPG personality traits or types, but is this him? Let me see. Bartle. Yeah. Bartle, that's right. And he, yeah, so he had put together something similar to that, but it was more about player types, and sort of I don't think there was as much science or, but I do think that the lawful good, lawful evil, whatever, chaotic
Yeah.
evil, all that
Oh,
stuff.
so someone had approached my friend
Yeah.
who ran a company and liked to get personality tests and things like that done for their use that no other company had, and approached my friend about was maybe developing one that was D&D based and getting and paying us, business consulting rates. Like, yeah, 6-figure rates to get this thing developed for them to
Yeah.
use, and then they only wanted to have it. He only wanted to have it exclusively for like 2-3 years, something like that. Anyway, a small number of years, and then we would own it. And
Interesting. Okay.
uh, and I we were talking about it. I said we will make if we can put this together and then publish it as a book into the business community as
Yeah.
D&D is getting more popular. We will every every business is going to want to hire us, particularly if we can make it our exclusive thing, right? It's not just something we're publishing. Here's how you do it. You've got to come to us, and we'll sell you the thing, and we'll do seminars for you and your people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the company, this was right around the .com bust, and the company went away, and that
Yeah,
never
that's
happened.
interesting. The dot-com bust always is surprising because you think at the time it all made sense. You're just like, I mean, who's going to buy a bunch of dog food from the internet? Like it just. But now it's all those things and more. Very interesting times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
yeah. So Bartle's personality types were like, let's see, it was let's see, I'm looking at the list now. Achievers, explorers, socializers, killers, and it really set the stage for developers to start thinking in those terms and tailoring experiences that met the needs of various kinds of players. And it's kind of a community managers doing their best work are covering all of that ground.
yeah,
And so it's always been kind of a center point of, you know while it's certainly not scientific, I would, the man who put it together, and also with input from folks like me and others that were in the space, it really is as succinctly comprehensive as it could be. Because then you get into like, I'm an explorer socializer and I'm a killer achiever and I'm all
yeah,
these things. But the reality is, when it comes to what activities people participate in, if you're missing one of these, you're missing a pretty fundamental thing that a person needs to enjoy or to be, to stick around.
right.
But I always found that pretty fascinating. And so I'm not familiar with uh, enneagrams. Someone shared with me saying it was an engram is what they said.
No,
But
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's an enneagram.
yes, understood. And but I don't know what the most. Yeah, and Michael in chat mentions that Myers-Briggs is based on theories of Carl Jung and Jungian and psychological type. If you guys didn't know,
I did, but it's good to bring that up because I would have not have pulled that out of my memory easily.
Myers-Briggs is to psychological type as D&D is to TTRPGs. It's the most well-known, always the 800-pound, test in the room. There are other versions by different theoreticians? Theoretician. I want to be a theoretician. How do you become a theoretician? Yeah.
Well, first you need a theory.
Let's see. I'm going to invent the theory of unrelativity.
The theory of Troyism.
Theory of Troyism. That's the kind of chaos we don't need to test for. Because
all right, so you wanted to give me an Enneagram.
Yeah, or something. And I didn't realize we had an actual what was an instigator? You are a traditional applicator.
He sure is an instigator.
Indicator or something. But Michael in chat, what would you recommend if we really want to get into Stan, we want to get to know Stan, what would you recommend as an online test that we can subject him to see whether he passes or fails? Stan, I regret to inform you that you have failed the Myers-Briggs.
Wow, I have no personality. Okay, good to know.
And I know, Michael in chat, that there's a bunch of other things that go into taking a real solid Myers-Briggs, but we're looking for the quick and easy.
Troy just wants to do something that seems like it might mean something.
Yeah, I mean, that gets us close. It doesn't have to be, because there are just vast numbers of people offering online personality tests.
Yeah.
Which when I want to go deep on personality and important, sort of the building blocks of my persona and how I inhabit this world, I go to 5-question online quizzes.
Yeah.
Quizlets. They really get me close to the importance of, things.
If it can't be summed up in 5 questions, it must not be important.
Michael in chat, forgive us for not adopting the lingo, and just give me a link or tell me to go somewhere to look for something easy to do. We will embrace the nomenclature as we traverse the heady halls of personality indicators. Michael would like us to know that they're not tests, they're indicators. Awesome. Is there a good, especially if they're free, I don't want to have to charge Stan for the pleasure.
Yeah, because Stan ain't paying.
I know that isn't there an actual Myers-Briggs organization?
Yes. There's also an Aeneid organization.
Let's see. Oh, they have a new global platform. I'm just finding out now. Yeah, they've really grown a bit since I last dabbled. What are you? Do you know off the top of your head what your Myers-Briggs is?
No. And one of the reasons is because when I take it, I understand what the questions are doing, and so I don't answer the same way all the time.
Yeah. Well, I find I kind of vacillate back and forth between ENFP and an ENTJ. Is that right? Am I just talking? Are these just medical diagnoses that I'm forgetting?
No, that could be that's
those two. Yeah, ENTJ Stanton is an INFP.
I am an INFP, he is predicting?
That's what Michael in chat says, yeah.
Okay.
Michael in chat, where should we go to take? I don't know. Do we want to do Myers-Briggs or should we do what kind? Which
This
friend?
was you brought this up entirely, so
I'm talking to Michael in chat.
you figure it out, man.
Which friend's character are you?
Right, yeah, let's just do like the
A bunch of BuzzFeed
let's do
quizzes.
the Colbert questionnaire and call it a day.
Looks like I just want to, let's see. Go back to one moment, please. Please hold.
Pee-pong.
Yeah, there's a lot of I guess it kind of strikes me as a snake oil salesman type around this topic.
Yep, sure is.
What is the best sandwich?
Oh, so we are doing the Colbert questionnaire.
That's what Michael and Chad asked. What is your favorite sandwich?
The best sandwich is a Reuben sandwich.
The Reuben
The Reuben
on rye
marbled rye
with
sauerkraut and corned beef and Swiss cheese.
No, none of that is good.
Well, we're not assessing you, are we?
That is true. That is true. This is your dungeon. I'm sorry, I forgot. But I do want to say that I was in New York and I went to a famous deli that had a giant pickle in the window.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. The other day I was trying to remember why. Back in my career, people used to mail me pickle things.
Why?
And I forgot. I was talking to somebody about it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, didn't you try to have the pickle sickles?" And yeah, I mean, they sent me pickle sickles, which are just like they're like Otter Pops, but made out of pickle juice. They sent me pickles.
That sounds horrible. Pickles.
It was
pickles are the devil's work.
Oh, you don't like pickles, period?
Oh, no, I do not like pickles at all. You know what? I do not like Western style, American style brined cucumber pickles. I like pickled things from other
but just not
cuisines. I don't like pickles.
Yeah. I love pickles, but I definitely love anything, like kimchi-ish.
Yeah.
I love that.
Kimchi's
but what had happened, this reminds me because I had my first real Reuben in New York City at a deli that I forget the name of, but in the window hung a giant spinning pickle.
Okay.
That kind of, I guess, called all the boys to the yard, and she come visit during
all the boys to the yard. Okay.
Yeah, and what I did is I used to do this thing, Stan, where I would say, I bet you $1 American bill that you won't do something incredibly obnoxious. Like it just outrageously impossible to do, defying the laws of gravity, etc. And someone said to me, "Hey, I bet you $1 American bill that you won't kiss that pickle." And I was like, "Yeah, I will." And it was a pretty gnarly, dusty, yucky pickle. And so I did kiss it, and they got a picture of it and put it on the internet. And that's when I started to receive pickle prizes.
Okay.
Picklesburg has everything fermented you can think of for sale. Best sandwich is the classic PBJ, strawberry jam, crunchy okay, I believe that. Yeah, grilled cheese. I think you got it, but only if you have it with tomato soup. Yeah, that's Cindy Robertson. And Cindy, I got to tell you, I had the most amazing grilled cheese sandwich, but they had put some kind of a savory jam on it. Was like a bacon jam or something. Oh my gosh, it was too good, too good. David Schwartz says these characters make me think this is checkmate. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty much what's going on, isn't it? Picklesburg. Surreptitious says Stan is 100% correct. The Reuben is the undisputed best
It
sandwich.
is the best sandwich. But I mean, the problem is that a mediocre Reuben can be a terrible thing. Like, you need a good Reuben.
Yeah. It's like growing up, I hated chicken. I hated it. It was just was so gross to me. And then I had chicken that my mother didn't make. And it was exquisite. And bless my mom. She is lovely, lovely woman. A chef or a cook, not necessarily on her particular LinkedIn page.
Right.
She has plenty of other wonderful skills, but cooking the chicken, not one of them. Yeah, it was so dry. It was so dry. But I thought you were probably talking about Reubens. The Reuben that I got, the Rachel is a cousin to the Reuben. Okay, that's fun. What's on the Rachel? I don't know. Do you know, Stam? The cousin to the Reuben, sort of the what's that? The Croque Monsieur and the Croque Madame.
Yeah, Croque Monsieur, Croque Madame.
Yeah, but uses a Thousand Island dressing. Interesting.
Yeah, most of the time, what you're getting if that's a definition, most of the time when you order a Reuben, you're getting a Rachel, because a Reuben is supposed to have Russian dressing, which outside of New York, most places don't have, but Thousand Island is replaced with.
Tangy is Russian tangy and
yeah, it's similar. It's similar to Thousand Island, but it's different. It's
right. Thousand is a little creamier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did have my first Reuben, and it was massive. This sandwich from the deli was absurd. It was so massive.
You went like to Cats or something like that, yeah, where they served these gigantic. Yeah, those aren't meant to be eaten. Those are things you talk about later. If you can't eat for 4 days on it, then they didn't do their job right.
Yeah. And I was there for New York City Comic Con back in the day. Yeah. And it was an intense sandwich that I think I was only there for 3 days and did not end up finishing it.
Yeah, not.
So she just says Rachel can use turkey or pastrami as well. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've accepted, that Thousand Island is because of just the way things are in America. You can't get Russian dressing, and it can still be a Reuben if it has Thousand Island dressing. But if it has pastrami or anything else, it's not a Reuben. It's a really good pastrami sandwich, but a Reuben is corned beef. It's not corned beef. It's not, and if it's not Swiss cheese, it's not a Reuben. I feel very strongly about these things.
Yeah, no. I feel the passion. Oh, I see. The Russian dressing is I'm thinking of, and then Thousand Island. What is the difference between Russian dressing and Thousand Island?
I don't know. Is Thousand
Island in New York? Is Thousand Island a New York thing? Oh, okay, yeah, between New York and Ontario, named after the Thousand Islands.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Michael in chat asks, where did I grow up? I grew up in Washington, well, the Pacific Northwest. I was born in Puyallup, Washington, and then at a young age moved to Portland, Oregon for a while, and then moved back in high school back to Washington, and grew up in a little town called Sumner,
where my family relatively near Puyallup.
Yeah, they are. we are both nestled in the opulent Puyallup Valley, or as I like to call it, the zone of doom. Because when Mount Rainier blows, that's just going to be the
Yeah.
pipeline of frozen ice and just hot lava for Seattle. It's coming. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Thousand Island dressing has sort of pickle chunks in it. Right? Chopped pickles. Yes, yes. It's all coming back to me now. And then Russian dressing looks kind of like it, but doesn't have the...
Yeah.
It's the Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Say Worcestershire. I'm messing myself up because I'm saying it too often.
Worcester.
You say Worcester?
That's how it's actually pronounced. But yes.
Not Worcestershire?
No, it's Worcester.
Worcester sauce. That feels wrong.
It feels too easy.
Yeah, it does. I like to make things
Worcestershire. Worcester.
The Worcestershire. Excellent. Okay, well, yeah, I'm learning something new about sandwiches. They always just call it the pastrami Reuben at the local deli here.
And if you want to call something a pastrami Reuben, I'm okay with that. But I've been to places where you order a Reuben and they bring you something with pastrami, and I'm like, I'm not okay with that. That's not a Reuben.
Do you get mad about it? Do you flip a table and say, "Listen, I'm
you know
from
what?
New York City."
I will get mad and argue with my friends about it, but I will not be impolite to the people that run the restaurant.
Yeah, you won't take it up with the chef.
I may tell them, look, this is not a Reuben. It's a fine pastrami sandwich,
but not a Reuben.
I'm just telling you.
I respect a sandwich purist. I do. Cindy says, I would have thought Russian dressing is made with vodka and Thousand Island made with rum. Yeah, that does make sense to me.
That makes sense.
It does sound like one should be kind of a pirate's dressing and the other sort of a chili babushka.
Yeah.
This is a dessert, so what do we know? Oh, a desert. I was like, yes, let's discuss desserts.
That's something different.
Yeah, I'm Michael and Chad. I was waiting for you to give me a quiz idea, but
have you not given up on that yet?
Oh no, sir! Are you kidding me? Do you know me as someone who gives up on something that I really want to do?
Not really. I was beginning to wonder about that.
Nope. Dogged.
All right, moving along here. We got 2 characters inked. We've got a few of the chess pieces inked. Let's keep going.
Good.
Let's keep going.
I like it. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We're having fun. Okay. The Enneagram.
Enneagram.
The Enneagram. The Enneagram.
Enneagram. Stress the second knee. Enneagram.
The Enneagram.
Yeah.
The Enneagram.
I see what you're doing now.
I typed it above between a lot of the other chat. Thank you, Michael and Chad. I missed it in all the deep debate of the Reuben.
It's It's
Myers-Briggs
what's that?
Okay.
Thorax in a bog? 2 yaps in a dog?
What's that from?
It's from the Tick cartoon. There's an alien named Thrakazog. Thrakazog! Now listen to me, Thorax in a bog. Thrakazog! Lapland a frog? 2 yaks in a dog? Susan? Now you're not even trying.
Thank you, Cindy. Finally, some help. It's Enneagram, Stan. Cindy's helping.
You know what, Troy? I can kick you out of here and just draw on my own. I have the
No,
control this time. Not a sumo show where it's qualitatively equal, but you're in charge. I'm in charge of this one. I can
you
boot your
could.
ass anytime I want.
You could pull the plug. You made me laugh so hard I'm coughing. I love it. Okay, where's the? I don't see it, Michael in chat. Was it in between the? Did it happen during the Great Pickle debate? Was it the deeper look at Russian dressing? Was it the
Lapland of Frog?
Stan? He does go hardball. He pulls no punches. Oh, YouTube. Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. Can you type it out phonetically? That's how I've gotten around it. Yeah, so you got to be careful with links on the YouTubes. You're one click away from needing therapy. It's a setting, a security setting you can kind of toggle on or off. I've got it off for all my streams, and I think it's smart that Stan does too. Human metrics. Okay, all right. Human metrics. This is based on Carl Jung and Isabel Briggs Myers typological approach to personality. Take the test.
Take the test.
Okay, get rid of this ad. Okay. This free personality test is based on the thing I just told you. Upon completing the questionnaire, you will obtain your four-letter type. You'll discover careers and occupations most suitable for your personality, along with examples of educational institutions where you can get a relevant degree. I'm imagining there is a part of life where you are a lot more interested in your personality type than in other phases of life. But Stan, since you are a young up-and-comer, this ought to be of value to you.
Yeah, this will help me gauge my career.
Yeah. Understand communication and learning styles. See which famous personalities share your type. Ooh, celebrities. Or be able to use the results of this test as an input into the marriage test to assess your compatibility with your long-term romantic partner.
Or start a conversation with someone at a party.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. Ennead agram. Ennead agram determines which ancient Egyptian god you are. I like it. Yeah, Cindy's right. Enneagram. All right, so you're okay here. You ready, Stan?
Yeah, go.
I want you to shuffle off the negativity and focus on the inside, Stan. Even if it's all filled with negativity. You're almost never late for your appointments. Yes. Sorta. Uncertain, no, and mega no.
Yes.
You're almost never late. Yes. You like to engage in tasks requiring active and fast-paced participation.
See, here's where I have a problem with these tests.
Yeah.
I'm good at it. I don't know that I like it, but I know I don't like when someone who's bad at it does it. So I do it.
I see. Well, so I think the key with these is you just kind of go with what your gut says. And however you interpret it is okay. You still get to where you're going. By your own rules.
So read that again.
You like to engage in tasks requiring active and fast-paced participation.
No. But how many choices? These are all the same.
There are 5. No, you've got like big yes. You've got yeah, and then you've got you don't know, and then you've got kind of know, and then you've got big no.
All right. Give me kind of yes.
Kind of yes. You enjoy having a wide circle of acquaintances.
Big yes.
Big yes. You are moved by the emotions of the characters of melodrama series.
Here again, this is what I tell. Melodrama series is a phrase that then I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like well done melodrama, like the OC, no, normal stuff, but when it's super well done, yeah. So
well, yeah, I would say just presume that it is the answer that suits you best. You know what I mean? The your take is the only one that really matters. And I imagine for the purposes of this implement, or what is it, institute, incision, that it would be they're going for something more like the spirit of the question is suggested in its delivery, right?
Yeah,
they're talking about the melodrama. If you are moved by melodramas and not moved by bad ones, I would say the answer is probably you're moved by melodramas.
yeah.
So is that a
if that's how you're going to read it, that's a yes.
Well, okay. So is that a super yes?
No, it's not a super yes. It's just a yes.
Just a yes. You are usually the first to react to a sudden event, the telephone ringing, or an unexpected question. It's an odd question.
So the funny part about that question is, I'm usually the first to notice, but I pointedly don't react.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's probably a no, right?
Okay.
Because you're the first to react.
I'm not the first to react, but
no. That's the question, is what I'm saying.
right. I know, but the question is the question. The question is the question testing. Am I the first to get it, or am I the first to do something?
Maybe if you want to split it, yeah, maybe you are reacting to it by not reacting.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe is it measuring your devotion to doing a thing, or
let's give that a not strong yes.
Oh, not strong yes. Yeah, because the other side that they could be measuring your reaction skills. Like are you fast enough? Compassion.
Am I paying attention to what's going on around me?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So this question: compassion is the foundation of human society. That's what I say, Michael, in chat. Yeah. And Stan,
I would give that a strong yes. Yeah.
Strong yes. Michael in chat: Stan will not overthink. Will not stop overthinking. That is.
No, I won't. That's why I don't like these things, because I do. Yeah. And in fact, that might be part of the test. There needs to be a part of the test. Like, do you overthink things? The answer is fuck yes, I do. I totally do.
Number 7, this question says, do you overthink the answers to this quiz to the degree that it is disruptive?
Big yes. Big yes.
Okay, well, big yes that was. You think that everything in the world is relative.
Say, everyone who's watching, look, this is me overthinking that question.
But you got to let Stan be Stan. Well, he's going to do his thing.
Do I think everything in the world is relative? No. I think most things in the world are relative to an extent. But I think there are absolutes in the world.
So I think that the answer feels like it's a small no.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I'm interpreting it, and this is my quiz that I'm taking for you.
I was going to say, you're the one who wants this to happen, so you...
All right, quiet. But don't be quiet when you answer this question. Strict observance of the established rules is likely to prevent attaining a good outcome.
hate. That's why I hate. I hate these.
They're yeah. So are you do you
This
think
is either. The problem is it. What's the middle one? Don't know.
uncertain? Yeah.
Uncertain. Uncertain.
Okay. It is difficult to get you excited. Yeah, real challenge to get Stan wound up about something.
Well, it depends. There are, in most cases, the answer is yes. But when you hit one of my nerves, the answer is no.
That's
This is one of
right.
my
That is,
nerves.
yeah, yeah. So would that be a small no, or an uncertain, or a big yes?
How is it phrased again?
It is difficult to get you excited.
Um, that's a small yes.
Small yes. When making a decision, you rely more on your feelings than on analysis of the situation.
Um, that's a small no.
Small no. You often think about humankind and its destiny.
That's a big yes.
Big yes, I believe that, yeah. You believe the best decision is one which can be easily changed.
Fuck this question. Um,
I know, right, Michael and chat?
no,
Don't
I
worry.
don't. There are certainly cases where I think that, but no, in general, I don't. I definitely don't think that's. But that's a small no. Call it a small no.
Troy's giving Stan the Voight-Kampf test.
Yeah, yeah.
You often ponder the root cause of phenomena and things.
Big yes.
Big yes. You prefer to act quickly on the limited information at hand rather than thoroughly analyze the situation first.
That's a pretty big no.
You trust reason rather than feelings.
Um, fuck this question. Fuck this. What did I say on the last one like that? I want them to match.
That was the when making the decision. No.
Yeah.
What was the uncertain? Strict observance of the established rules is likely to prevent attaining a good outcome. So on this
No,
one, this is yeah. That was the other one. You said uncertain.
let's say uncertain on that.
Okay. All right. You are inclined to rely more on improvisation than on prior planning.
Uncertain.
David Shepard wants to know why you won't turn the turtle over.
What's a tortoise?
Yeah. There are 3 lights. You spend your leisure time actively socializing with the.
There are 5 lights.
Bzz. You spend your leisure time actively socializing with a group of people, attending parties, shopping, etc.
How are those the same thing?
I think it's the difference between I'm a shut-in who doesn't interact with humans, or I do like to go out where people are.
Yeah, well, the problem is that on Tuesday, Wednesday, and uh, so I guess that's going to make it uncertain. I walk the middle.
Yeah, that works.
I walk the middle line.
You usually plan your actions in advance.
Big yes.
Your actions are frequently influenced by your emotions.
Small yes.
Small yes. You are a person somewhat reserved and distant in communication.
It's a pretty big no.
Agreed. You know how to put every minute of your time to good purpose.
I wish.
That'd be a small no or a big no.
I know how to put every minute of my time to good use.
Yeah.
Small yes.
Small yes. You often contemplate the complexity of life.
Big yes.
After prolonged socializing, you feel you need to get away and be alone.
Small yes.
You often do jobs in a hurry.
Well, it turns out to be true. Is that what I want to do? I often do jobs in a hurry. Small yes.
Small yes. You easily see the general principle behind specific occurrences.
Big yes. Big yes.
Yeah, exactly. You frequently and easily express your feelings and emotions.
Big yes.
You find it difficult to speak.
You can't even read it.
You find it difficult to speak loudly.
Big no.
Not on any day I've ever known you. I'm putting big no on that one.
Yeah, big no.
You get bored if you have to read theoretical books. So,
It's a tough one because again, I depends on the intention. I love reading theoretical articles, but I get bored reading theoretical books. It's
yeah.
it's a question of size rather than that. So I'm gonna say a small no.
Small no. Hey, Nate. Non sequitur Nate is hanging out in chat.
Hey, Nate.
Good to see you, friend. Michael in chat.
Is Michael Stajan?
Yeah. There's some betting going on in the chat. You tend to sympathize.
What are the odds? What are the odds on my being an ENFP?
I don't know. I don't know. I own. Yeah, interesting. I'm going to imagine that, Stan, you vacillate between an E and an I.
If I recall, I most often test as an E.
Yeah. You tend to sympathize with other people.
Big yes.
You value justice higher than mercy.
I hate questions like that.
I do too, actually.
I hate questions like that.
Yeah, because it's not, honestly, it's not realistic. It's
right.
But it's not meant to be, and it's supposed to elicit a reaction from you, and then that first
my reaction is fuck that question.
I don't see that here as an option. I could rate them. It turns out you're an FUCK.
I value justice over mercy.
Higher than, yeah.
Small no.
Small no. You rapidly get involved in the social life of a new workplace.
Small yes.
Small yes. The more people you speak to, the better you feel.
Small yes.
You tend to rely on your experience rather than on theoretical possibilities.
Uncertain.
Which is really just
so often uncertain is, it depends on the situation. There are many cases where the answer is big yes. There are many cases where the answer is big no.
Yeah. For me, it's yeah. Makes sense. It's context. It's a bunch of missing data to make a good call there. As a rule, you proceed only when you have a clear and detailed plan. I know the answer to this. No.
I'd like that to be the case, but no. How realistic is that?
Not at all. But it feels like it's a little no.
Yeah.
You easily empathize with the concerns of other people.
Big yes.
You often prefer to read a book than go to a party.
Uncertain.
When with a group of people, you enjoy being directly involved and being at the center of attention.
Small yes.
You are more inclined to experiment than to follow familiar approaches.
Small no.
Small no. You are strongly touched. That's it. You're
Damn
touched.
Right. I'm strongly touched.
You are strongly touched by the stories about people's troubles.
Small yes.
Deadlines seem to you to be of relative rather than absolute importance.
I got fired for that once.
So, is that a learned little no?
Read that again.
Deadlines seem to you to be of relative rather than absolute importance.
Small yes.
Small yes. You prefer to isolate yourself from outside noises.
Small yes.
Small yes. For you, it's easier to gain knowledge through hands-on experience than from books or manuals.
Oh, big yes. What the hell?
Big yes. You think that almost everything can be analyzed.
Damn right. It can be overanalyzed. Big
That's
yes.
right. That's right.
I'm a walking proof of that.
Yeah, you are. You are the analyzer. That would be your superhero name. The overanalyzer. For you, no surprises is better than surprises, bad or good.
Small yes.
You take pleasure in putting things in order.
Big yes.
Big yes. You feel at ease in a crowd.
Big yes.
You have good control over your desires and temptations.
Small yes.
You easily understand new theoretical principles.
Big yes.
You usually place yourself nearer to the side than in the center of the room.
Big yes.
Do you actually say that to yourself? Like, where's the center of the room? I better find the side.
No, I say to myself, I'm going to stay on the side until I find where I want to go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That just seems like a public courtesy. Like, get out of the way until you know where you want to be. When solving a problem, you would rather.
Yeah, but I do know, we both know people who just want to be the center of attention.
Yes. Yeah. Which I think that question was hinting at, but it also just seemed, it seemed weird. When solving a problem, you would rather follow a familiar approach than seek a new one. Yeah.
I'm just trying to decide whether it's big or little yes.
Yeah. I'm just looking at chat. Nate's saying, so by putting things in order, you would say that organizing your shopping cart at a grocery store is like a huge thing for you. And then Michael in chat said, that's OCD, Nate. So yeah, when solving a problem, you would rather follow a familiar approach than seek a new one.
I guess because I'm finding this so difficult, it's got to be little yes.
A thirst for adventure is something close to your heart.
When we're playing D&D,
right?
I mean, I love playing adventure games, but no, I don't thirst for adventure in my life. That's a small no.
Yeah. When considering a situation, you pay more attention to the current situation and less to a possible sequence of events. When
Those two
considering,
are not in opposition to one another.
they're really not. When considering a situation, you pay more attention to the current situation and less to a possible sequence of events.
Yeah, that's got to be down the middle. It's one of those. It's one of those.
Yeah. Because that doesn't really give you even a sense of time. Like, is it, a sequence of events post or, pre, whatever the situation may be? Like, yeah. Anyway, when solving a problem, you rely on logic rather than emotion or belief in most situations. Hmm.
I'm gonna say small yes.
Small, yes, it is. You find it difficult to talk about your feelings. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. You find it difficult to talk about your feelings. I
All right. So,
certainly will
but
be after
here's the
a
thing. I'm just I there just because there are certainly situations where it's that true. I'm weighing the small no as opposed to the big no.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, and I know there's a difference between being passionate about what constitutes a Reuben
Right.
and
And
yeah,
yeah, no, and certainly it depends a lot on who I'm interacting with.
yeah,
So yeah, I got to go with a small no rather than a big
yeah,
no.
that makes sense. Your decisions are based more on the feeling of a moment than on the thorough plan. Your decisions are based more on the feeling of a moment than on the thorough planning. That's the sentence that feels weird.
It
Your
is.
decisions
It's not a well constructed sentence.
no, yeah.
I
So your
feel
decisions are
strongly
based
about
more.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So no
That's
uncertainty about that.
that's a no. I'm not more. What's on the? You're more likely to.
Uh, Basically, just be reactionary because of how you're feeling at the moment, rather than sit down and plot and scheme and weigh
No.
your
Yeah.
options. And
Big no. Big no.
big no. You prefer to spend leisure time alone or relaxing in a tranquil atmosphere.
Small yes.
Small, yes. You feel more comfortable sticking to conventional ways. Hmm.
Whose convention?
Yeah, who's convention, right? That is a good question. And in what context? Are we
Yeah.
talking professionally? Because sometimes those conventions are important to,
Yeah. It's
and sometimes they're just outdated and old thinking. And
um. I'm gonna say small no.
small, no. You are easily affected by strong emotions.
Small yes.
Small, yes. You are always looking for opportunities.
Big yes.
As a rule,
As a
current
rural.
preoccupations worry you more than future plans.
What?
As a rule, current preoccupations worry you more than your future plans. That's an interesting one. Current preoccupations worry you more than your future plans. Nate's having a conversation all by himself, which is something you gotta love about Nate.
Good for you, Nate.
That's fun. That's fun for you, buddy. I like it.
uh,
He has stopped drawing, yeah. David Shepard says, Troy has successfully baffled Stan so much that he has stopped drawing. I would
Yeah.
imagine, I don't know why we're blaming Troy. This is actually Michael and Chat's fault. That's a weird question. Yeah, I'd have a hard
It's just a weird question.
And so basically, you're more worried about the
Tell you
problems
what,
of the
probably so more likely for current preoccupations is the way the question is phrased.
yeah current preoccupations.
Small
Or
yes.
you more small yes. It is easy for you to communicate in social situations.
I said a small or a big yes. Let's go with a big.
I would say big.
Let's go with a big yes.
If you wanted to be pick the small one because you were worried that you wouldn't be seen in the big yes, because it's like, is it easy? Well, sometimes it's not you that makes that judgment, but
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Easy for you.
Yeah, big yes. Let's do
You
it.
rarely deviate from your habits. No, you picked up cocaine and you stuck with it.
Small yes.
To this day. Small yes. You willingly involve yourself in matters which engage your sympathies.
Big yes.
Big yes. Yeah, you got a big F coming. You easily perceive various ways in which events could develop.
Big yes. Wait, let me think about that. I don't know.
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
It could be this. It could be that.
All right. Your
50 years on you, David. You're right. This week is 50 years on the couch.
50 years on the couch. Yeah, exactly. I love it. You are 50 to 54?
Years old?
Yeah.
No, I'm
55 to 59?
I'm 60 to 65. Wow.
Damn. Just kidding.
I know.
All right, let me double check, make sure we've got all of the questions answered.
All right. Please start drawing again.
Start drawing. You start drawing while the internet computer decides what you are.
Computer?
Computer, you are, as of this moment, based on the human metrics Jungian typology test, an extrovert, intuitive, feeling, judging. Pretty strong, by the way. You don't really ride the middle on this stuff. You have a moderate preference. You have a moderate preference of extroversion over introversion. You have a moderate preference of intuition over sensing. You have a moderate preference of feeling over thinking, and a moderate preference for judging over perceiving. Interesting.
I wouldn't say those are true, but okay.
Yeah, and again, like if suddenly taking this and it was law and that's what you had to be known as for the rest of your life, I would question some of the. Let's see, ENFJs are the benevolent pedagogues of humanity. They have a tremendous charisma, but they are a pain in the ass.
Yes, I am old. I just got older a couple of weeks ago. My number clicked up.
You're a global learner, Stan. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Your focus is expansive. Some can juggle an amazing number of responsibilities. Sure, that's you. With so much varying difference, like live streaming versus, I don't know. What do? You translate animes? That's it, isn't it?
No, but go ahead. You keep going.
Let's see. Excuse me. ENFJs are by definition Js with whom we associate organization and decisiveness, because they don't resemble the SJs or even the NTJs in organization of the environment nor occasional recalcitrance. Okay, I feel like
What?
I've stepped
What?
into
They're
the
making
bizarro,
they're making that up now.
but they don't resemble the SJs or even the NTJs in organization of the environment nor occasional recalcitrance. So put that on your LinkedIn.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Then you're not going to get the job. Their offices may or may not be cluttered, but their conclusions reached through feelings about people and motives are drawn much more quickly and are more resilient than those of their other counterparts. You know and appreciate people. You are apt to neglect yourself and your own needs for the needs of others. And you have thinner psychological boundaries than most and are at risk for being hurt or even abused by less sensitive people. You often take on more of the burdens of others than you can bear. And yeah, the first shall be last. That's your trademark. This refers to the open door policy. Colleague always welcomes me into his office regardless of his own circumstances. If another person comes to the door, he allows them to interrupt our conversation with their need. While discussing that need, the phone rings and he stops to answer it. There you go.
That's something that they're saying is
You.
the way
Yeah.
I behave. All right. Well,
Take care, surreptitious.
that's completely off. But okay. Bye, surreptitious. Thank you for putting up with this crap.
Hey, it was fun. It was fun and interesting. And it would, just as an activity of kind of seeing, what Stan's all about. Michael and chat, we'll save the comparative ENFJ, ENFP analysis for the next episode of
What? Yeah. So how did Michael do in his prediction?
he was pretty close. You said P, right? I think he said ENFP. And that was P stands for prison, I guess.
Okay. Well, there we go.
No, it's ENFP. That's the perceiving, which I think makes you more of a.
Yeah. Well, I think that he's right more than that test.
I would imagine.
Again, this. I mean, the problem with these tests anyway, is they measure a slice of time rather than anything.
They do, and that's very
right?
true. Very
And
true.
as we saw, a lot depends on how you interpret the damn questions because
That's right.
many of them are just kind of pointedly A or B,
Obtuse.
right? It's like apples or kerosene. What?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. What's really interesting for me is that it's really just I find them to be an interesting conversation to have with people that you can interrogate whether it's a wonderful excuse to have these kinds of dialogues. There's really not a space in our modern era that's like, hey friends, let's sit down and talk about our personality type.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. Having a preference for P means you're more likely, sorry, excuse me, you are
It's
more
me.
likely to improvise than a person who prefers J. So yeah, okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Can you make
I
your
would say between those two, whatever something in this is off because I think that in almost all the what it's supposed to measure, I should come up P, not J.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, the flip, INTJ, INTP, ENTP, INTJ. I gotta look at these real fast. Give me the list, Carl. Where is it?
I'm more likely to say that I enjoy going through this and discussing the questions than answering the questions.
Yeah, I do find that to be actually it's the process that I find fascinating and the and the dialogue around it. I mean, I don't know that I would ever remember this and then lock it in as the gospel, and this is you now stand forever. A, because I have a bad memory, and B, because I just think you are, everyone's a little different depending on the time of day, depending on the people you're with, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Michael in chat wants you to know that he is also an ENFP.
All right. Well, that's why we get along so well, clearly. It must be right.
Clearly.
Now I've changed my mind. It must be right, because we get along so well.
Yeah.
In Japan,
yeah,
one of the most often used personality tests is your blood type.
Really?
Yep, they believe certain blood types have certain characteristics, and kind of it's most often compared to horoscope, because they will a lot of companies will arrange seating in in the company based on blood type. You never put an AB positive next to an O negative. Oh my God, they'll never get anything done.
That's very interesting. What is it? Ketsuki Gata? Did I say that right?
Sure.
Ketsuki Gata?
Could be.
Yeah, so yeah, the blood personality type.
Yep.
Fascinating. A body of thought that appears to be based on scientific principles but is not actually rooted in fact. Fascinating. That's very interesting. It always sort of tweaks my being a bit when you think about being born into a certain type of something. Like you have like your destiny is you're a Sagittarius and you will always remain a Sagittarius, kind of thing. And,
well, I mean, you will.
Yes, that's true. I mean, I guess in the measure of things, unless you have a surgery to remove the birthday and move it into a different part of your brain. Temperament theory, phlegmatic, sanguine.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. Type A is purportedly associated with positive traits like creativity, cleverness, and cooperativeness. Type B are empathic and decisive. Okay. And type AB, rationality, adaptability. Yeah. Type O, demons.
Demon from another world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. I don't know what my blood type is.
Well, before you go to Japan, you should figure it out.
Do you ever? Are there people that ever change what their blood type is so they fit in?
You mean lie about their blood type?
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine maybe. I don't. I certainly was asked what my blood type was while I was there.
You were. So so it's
kind of like what's your zodiac sign? People will just ask you what's your blood type.
Now, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Libra.
A Libra. Yeah, I don't know much about Libras.
Clearly.
You're like, I know. I've never seen.
Yeah, I can see that.
Diplomacy, charm, love of balance, and appreciation for aesthetics. Pedant. Okay. That seems judgy.
Me? Pedant? No.
Yeah, okay. This checks out. So yeah, I guess what we've discovered today is
they're all right. All of them. All of these things.
Right.
They're all correct.
They're all correct.
Or maybe they're all equally correct.
Chris would like you to know their blood type is Rocky Road.
Okay.
Well, Michael and Chad, I did know it and then I forgot it. I don't often have to deal with my own blood in that way.
All right, this is coming along pretty good. What do you think?
It sure is. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, you got it. You should try to do this for a living.
I can't. I'm type AB.
Oh, I see. I see. That does make sense. No, it looks great.
I'm too. ENTP, whatever.
E-I-E-I-O, I
I'm
think.
too EIEIO.
I don't know, Michael and Chad. I don't know. It's honestly, that's just not a conversation that I ever have with anybody. Like, what's your blood type? I don't know. I mean, maybe they know and my doctor knows, I think. I might have known once. I also always forget my birth time.
Your birth time
Yeah, because that somehow has an impact on your
has an impact
astrological
on,
situation.
if you're doing if you're into astrology, the time, it's important.
Now, Chris says, this makes me want a D&D version of Battle Chess. Battle Chess.
That would be
I'm not
cool.
sure.
What was I going to say? Let me put this down for a second. Oh, yeah. You are you pleased with the personality test? Was that the start of something or just a thing for its own sake?
I know it's informing some decisions and some future ramifications and
Great.
extrications and implementations. So no, I was just curious. And I thought it would be fun because you are a hoot, and anything that gets you wound up is always a delight.
I bet you didn't expect me to get quite as wound up as I did.
Oh, I did. I really did. I mean, I don't think I think I thought that that much of the getting wound up is a part of your entertaining charm.
Well, okay, that's very diplomatically put.
Well, I thought it would give us some fodder for the for chat to weigh in on and for you to react to and for me to enjoy.
Oh, hey, looking at this right here reminds me of something I want to tell people watching. I posted this on my Facebook today, but our friends over at Cobalt Press, have just released their new cozy RPG Riverbank, which I did a drawing for this show, and they're having a coloring contest.
Fun.
Which is using the line drawings that I did from my interpretation of the painting. The cover painting is by Kathleen Jenkins, and it's a watercolor painting. And my drawing, of course, is a line drawing. So right now, if you go over to koboldpress.com and look on their blog, there'll be a listing under the coloring contest, and you can get a free download of the line drawing that I did. I guess maybe I pulled that up here.
Do we have a? I've got the link. Is there a guest chat? Oh, you got it.
This is the both so this is the original, and this is my drawing of it.
Cute.
But if I drop all of the colors out, which I think I can do. No, that didn't work. It'd be difficult for me to do that. Okay. But I can drop all the colors out and just get line drawing. And I sent that to them, and you can now download that and color it and enter it, and there are prizes to be won.
Nice.
It started today, and it goes through the 19th, so you got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to color, and or just color for fun whenever you want.
I dropped the link in chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's cute. I like those folks over at Cobalt Press.
They're good. They're good minions. Those folks at Cobalt.
They are. They are. Oh, hey, Stan, what do you think about this as a bumper sticker for Mutants and Masterminds? Henchmen in the streets, super in the sheets.
You know, I would just say hench. Don't say henchman.
Hench in the streets. Okay.
Yeah.
Hench in the streets, super in the sheets. Yeah. I like that. And by sheets, I mean, paper. Sheets of paper.
Right. Yeah, no, when you're writing,
Yeah.
or drawing. You can make it
or drawing. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Which really bad. Oh, Nate.
Is it
it is
suppressing the link?
Link. It is.
It's koboldpress.com.
Yeah, go to koboldpress.com because the URL is A Most Charming Affair, the Riverbank RPG Coloring Competition, October 5th, 2025. It's a long one.
Is there a Kobold Press /blog?
Just go to koboldpress.com and you will see it's right up there.
Yeah. Go to their site and look for the
go to their news. You'll see the latest from Kobold Press blog. They don't have but check it out. They got good stuff over here.
David Schwartz says character sheets. You meant character sheets.
That's right.
Streets, super on the sheets.
Super character
sheets. Absolutely, David.
David, if it wasn't before, it is now. I love it. Well, Staniel, I feel like I've brought you joy and delight for 2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours, which is a long time for you. I think that you have something to do.
I do indeed. I have the.
All right, before you go, though, we should mention that the other thing we do together is the sumo show.
That's right.
Sumo show, and we're about to start a new tournament, and so there will be a live sumo show episode this Friday. Folks, go to sumoshow.com. It'll take them to the YouTube channel,
where you can watch us do our thing. You can subscribe as well. Yeah. So go do that.
So
yeah, we've been doing that. I can't believe we've been doing the sumo show for
3.5 years.
3.5 years, Stan. That's a long time to do any one thing.
Yeah.
And it's a delight. It's we've been doing it for 3 years, but it still feels like I'm brand new.
Well, it's a 1,000-year-old sport, so there's a lot.
There is. We just not even a blip.
Yeah.
In the history, but yeah. I think that this Basho, which is a kind of our season, this season of our show is I'm really gonna lean into the identifying the bad actors and the shadowy organizations.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, just gonna push all those buttons too. Okay, good. I see how it's gonna be.
Hey, Michael and Chad, that was fun. Thank you for suffering me and Stan. Always a delight.
Yeah, those who are watching, I'm gonna hang out and I think I'm gonna finish drawing that spectral shape in the background, line wise, and then I will probably call it an evening too. But Troy, thank you for hanging out. It's been good having you on.
Yeah,
let's do it again. I'll have you back some other Wednesday.
I love it. And we can maybe even on that Wednesday talk about more of this stuff that you love to talk about on Stan's Dungeon. Whatever that might be. Yeah.
Yes. I like to talk about whatever. I apparently like to talk about personality tests.
You do.
Maybe we can do the Enneagram next time.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do the Enneagram, that's fine. Bye. Good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the week.
Out!
I'm leaving. You don't have to tell me twice. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you to Troy for hanging out for a while. I will try and keep a better eye on what's going on in chat now. But I suppose one of the things I should say is I got two things about tomorrow, when there is supposed to be the the usual random encounter show, and it's on the schedule. It's there, but there are two things. One is that I got a notice from my internet provider that my service is going to be interrupted tomorrow, and they don't know for how long. So it's possible that I won't have service, or that it'll be shaky, and so the show will be weird. The other thing is that there's a cartoonist whose work I like, named Tom Toro, and he's going to be in Seattle. He's going to be in a bookstore north of Seattle tomorrow, uh, on a book tour for his new collection. And I was thinking, if I didn't have the show, I might go up there to see him. So if it looks like the internet really is going to be out, then I will post a note on my social media saying that the episode will, I don't know, probably just bump it to the next week. Or maybe I'll do it over the weekend. I don't know. But if everything's clear, so I don't have any firm info for you. I'm just kind of throwing this out there for you to worry about. Maybe there'll be a show and everything will be fine. Maybe it just won't happen. Maybe it'll be Saturday. So maybe I didn't need to tell you all that. But I just did. It's done now. All right, how am I going to do this? I want to be able to see all of these things and still draw. All right, I'm going to just have to drop the opacity on all these layers. So I want to be able to see the positioning of these things while I'm drawing the skull. All right, there we go. Gonna draw the skull. Live stream from the book signing. You know what? I'm not sure that that they would appreciate that. In fact, I'm pretty sure they would not appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna drop the width of this is gonna be a very fine line. The cartoonist is named Tom Toro, Toro, and he's a New Yorker cartoonist, among other things, and he's got a collection coming out. I guess it's out now because he's touring and signing it, and the the title of it's based on a cartoon. The cartoon shows a bunch of bank robbers in a car driving away with the police chasing them, shooting, guns going back. They're in the car. They've got masks on and kerchiefs over their faces, and the caption is, "And to think, we started out as a book club." So, if I'm not here, I may be attending the signing event for "And to think, we started out as a book club." But, I mean, the problem for me with that is that it's not even in downtown Seattle, which in itself is pretty inconvenient for me these days. This is in is it Third Place Books in Ravenna or Lake City, Lake Forest. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly where it is, except I know that it's a big schlep for me to go. But you know, you don't get a lot of cartoonists coming to town. Like to support him, and I like his stuff. Like to meet him. So we'll see. We'll see. In the meanwhile, if you happen to see that book, you can say, "Oh, that's the one Stan was talking about. I hear that Tom Toro guy. He's pretty funny." Linwood, up in Linwood, yeah, roughly, that's where it is. If I'm not here, if you're not here, I'm either forming a book club or robbing a bank. Okay, yeah, that's what you hear. I suppose that's one way to look at it. I would bet on the forming a book club, but you never can tell. You got to form the book club before you start robbing banks. That's what I get out of that cartoon. Did Jeff Quick ask me to submit my drawing for that contest? Uh, no, no. I was having lunch with Wolfgang Bauer um, in September, early October. I don't remember which. And after I had finished that piece, and I just sent it to them saying, "Hey, here I did this, uh, and I'm gonna promote your promote the book because I'm very excited about it. And if you guys want to use it, let's talk." And he said, and he came back with the idea. He took it to the marketing kobolds, who thought that they would love to that it would be fun to do a coloring contest just as a promotional thing, and that it would be great to use this piece. And Wolfgang said, "Hey, can we pay you for that?" And I said, "You sure can." And so we worked out an appropriate deal. And there's some other um, this is not the only piece that I've done this year. Since I stopped doing all stuff that's specifically D&D, I've done stuff for other companies. This is not the only company that has talked to me about potentially doing uh, some kind of deal. I don't want to say more because there's nothing official that has happened at all. But I'm in conversations with at least one other company about ways to perhaps make use of um, these drawings. And it hadn't really occurred to me to do coloring book stuff out of them. I think mainly because these are all pieces that are owned, that I don't own the copyright to. Right? I know that I'm doing. I own the copyright to my drawing, but they are all based on book covers for other people's books, and not everyone is sanguine with you making interpretations of their materials. But I don't know. I do like the coloring aspect. Perhaps I will start to look at doing more of these and releasing them for free downloads, or doing promotions, or actively approaching some of these other companies. Maybe even Wizards. Wizards won't do anything. About doing some kind of deal like this. I say the other company that I'm talking to, there's some very interesting things they talked about potentially doing. But you know, that's very much in the big if situation. It would be super cool if some of these things came to pass. But I have no control over that, and really no idea on what the timeline might be, even if it does. And these are crazy times financially in the game industry, so I don't know what kind of budget people have for that kind of unusual project. I mean, personally, and I've said this. I say this when I talk to Wolfgang and other people from other companies. It's relatively inexpensive to get a cartoon done and make some use out of it, and it's not a typical kind of thing, but it is the kind of thing that you can, like, if someone were to want to, my deal with Cobalt is such that if they want to take these things and print more of them and take them to conventions and such, they totally can, right? Whatever they paid for the one coloring page, there are a lot of ways they can make use out of it. And they may. I bet they will. But, as I say, trying to convince other companies to do that, it's not an obvious or easy project. Do I prefer to contemplate the possible or concentrate on the practical? Yes, yes, undecided, no, no. Yeah. Yeah. Wizards just brought back Weiss and Hickman. It's time to bring back Stan. Well, I would love it if they thought that way, but I never made as much money for them as Morgan and Tracy did at all. So, yeah, I was very curious to see that about that day when Margaret and Tracy and Joe Mangello were all in the office. I got no insights as to exactly what they were talking about, though having been part of some previous conversations, I have an idea of what could be going on. the main thing for me was that no one told me they were coming to town so that we could have lunch. The Dragonlance situation for me, it's weird, right? Because a large portion of what I did for TSR and Wizards was Dragonlance related, but it exists in a space that is not the Weiss and Hickman space. Although I worked with them, and I think that went very well, and I respect them both, and I love the work they're doing. But I have never been coupled with that iteration of Dragonlance. And once you've got Margaret and Tracy, you don't really need to add a stand-in. They certainly, although we all get along and we all like each other. I don't think that they have. I think quite reasonably, they don't have any interest in working me into their creative process. So that really is one of the reasons I think all the stuff that I did with Wizards and TSR, all of my history with them, was done in areas where there are more highly placed faces and names. And so exactly what they would gain from bringing a stand back in is questionable. And also because they don't want to spend all their time reliving old names, old designers. Like, they're certainly finding a punch for a Weiss and Hickman or Salvatore or an Ed Greenwood, right? There's some very real punch they get from doing that, which makes it worthwhile. There isn't, until the number of people who are coming here and enjoying my stream grows into the thousands, I don't pull that kind of punch. Chris Andrews says the Dragonlance Nexus mentioned me in a recent podcast, praising my work on the city of Palanthas as the finest ever made of that big city. Well, I appreciate that. And part of the reason that worked so well is a lot of what I did was building on what Margaret and Tracy and other authors had done and pulling it into a format. I think that what I succeeded at there was a format success. What it was is for those of you who have never seen it, is a guide to the city of Palanthas, which is one of the major cities in the Dragonlance setting. And rather than it being your usual kind of encyclopedic book, like here's a listing of what's here and here's a listing of what's there and note. I did it in kind of as an in-world thing where you are being taken on a tour of the city by different people who live there. And so each chapter is written in voice of the person who's showing you the city. And what they tell you about what you see is filled with their personal take on it. and so it's very flavorful, and it's full of things that could, there. I, I tried to introduce the differences between things that are true and things that are this character's opinion, which leaves openings for the the narrator or the GM to build upon or ignore if they don't like. Um, it was a fun book, and it turned out pretty well. It was inspired by the work I did on the Dragonlance bestiary, which was written as an in-world book, written by one of the characters the uh, from the Dragonlance novels, and edited by one of the other characters, and they have conversations within the book with each other. Anyway, I appreciate that Palanthas is well thought of. I think it was a really good book too. It was a little short, but that was all we had room for. And Palanthas is a big city. We could have, in theory, that could have been a book double its size to cover all the stuff in and around Palanthas. But it worked out okay. Now, if I turn off that, let's see what this looks like. Yeah. I think I want to put some of these little... The key will be in the coloring for this skull in the background. But, I'll tell you, one of the first few times I looked at this dragon cover, I didn't notice the skull. I was so focused on what was going on with the knights, I didn't really notice the haunted skull in the background. So I'm for sure going to drop that into that those black lines are not going to be black lines. They will be gray and faded into the background. But on the whole, I think we finished all the line work for this now. What exactly did Stan do for the city of Palanthas? What did I do? What did I do for this? What does Palanthas owe me? Palanthas doesn't owe me anything. Let's say I did. I collected lore and I created some characters who could be your tour guides, and I brought it into the Fifth Age era. That was the other thing, was all of the when we were working on Fifth Age, Dragonlance Fifth Age, a lot had changed in the world. So a lot of that book was about factoids and factions and uh, uh, lore nuggets that would be good in our campaign at that time. But that is now 30 years old, and the timeline and the world has moved on from there. So, the fact of the matter is that a lot of the nuggets, a lot of things in there, probably aren't even applicable anymore. So it's kind of there are the hard truths, things in there which were based on the original materials, the original novels and adventures and source books that I was using, all still remain true as the history of the place. The city that is shown in that book as a setting has moved on. It's now a different city. It's a different political situation entirely. Um, Chris, your goal is to make Michael a Dragonlance fan? Good luck. Yeah. You know, one of the things I've kind of observed over time is it's not so much what there are so many good settings, and and a lot of them are really deep and rich, and it's very hard to be a big fan of many of them because there's so much. Each one is a lifetime of fandom's uh, value in research and committing to it. So uh, things like Forgotten Realms and Dragonlance and even Eberron, if you get deep into your gaming career, and I don't mean professionally, as a fan, as a hobbyist, if you get deep into it and already you're already filled with lore for one thing, it's a big ask to get someone to pick up a second really big thing um, to go along with it. Yeah. Oh, Michael says that's the problem with advancing timelines of setting books, especially ones based on fiction. It's definitely the challenge. It's definitely a challenge for uh, for Dragonlance, as opposed Forgotten Realms is a world that mostly is there's a lot that's going on. I'm not saying there's aren't things that are going on, but it's a world in equilibrium. The the people that control a certain area are probably going to they have for a long time, and they probably are going to do it again. And while the particulars of Elminster or Storm, Silverhand, or any of the characters are going to have timeline things, it's not really going to broadly affect what your characters would encounter in the Forgotten Realms, or what is said in a core source book about the Forgotten Realms. There certainly are things particularly in the 80s and 90s, as the timeline was moved along, and they did things, and as they shifted from edition to edition, they did things that changed the realms that made you need to kind of, if you cared about what happening in a timeline. Dragonlance, however, is a world at war. It always is, and the who's in charge where, and what is happening with the war, and what the situation is, and particularly with the comings and goings of the gods, which happens a lot in Dragonlance, it changes things a lot, and so source material on a particular place or the relationships between two countries tend to really need to be rewritten more frequently. Anyway, all right, there we go. This is where we're at with the drawing. Got all the line work done, and it's time to start doing the coloring. And that's going to be something I do not tonight, not right here. So I'm going to close out this window, have a look. We'll see about when it's time to show a finished version. I'll tell you one of the things. No, before I go, one of the things as I was looking at this and working on it, I find it strange that these two uh, characters, these two figures, have that green glow around them for no real reason. Uh, I I just find that funny. It doesn't to me really tell the story any better, except if you want to say, hey, look, no, they're not pieces, they're people moving. But the drawing covers that pretty clearly. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do about that green glow. I think I will include it. I probably will. And how can I? and it reflects in the green glow in uh, the big skull's eyes. It's another thing that I hadn't really paid attention to until recently. Anyway, I love this. I love this cover. I think the drawing's coming along really good. I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you when it's done. But for now, we come back here to just me. Say thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me for 2.5 hours. It was a fun evening. Always is. Michael and Chris Andrew, you had a lot of a lot of inspirational things. Michael, I had no idea you were so knowledgeable about personality tests, and thank you for your help in doing that. Hope you all enjoyed Troy running me through the Myers-Briggs. Hope you all enjoyed me freaking out and having a hissy fit about it. I may be back tomorrow. As I said a little earlier, a lot will depend on what the internet situation here is for me, whether my internet provider gets all the services back up and stable early enough in the day for me to commit to it, and if they don't, I may be going to see Tom Toro at Third Place Books. Anyway, we talked about it a bit when Troy was here. On Friday night, the Sumo Show will have a new episode as we prepare for the latest tournament. If you go to sumoshow.com, it'll take you to the YouTube channel. And I know you guys may know nothing about sumo. Probably not. Yeah, but, the idea of the Sumo Show is that it's something that helps people to learn about and enjoy this ancient sport that I love so much. Yeah. So there you go. Thank you all again. A lot of people here. I know, and I missed a lot of the names, but I know Cindy was here. I know Dale was here. Nate was here. And certainly we had a bunch of people watching who weren't in chat. And I thank you guys too. If you like what's going on here, you probably want to consider signing up for our free newsletter, 50 Years in the Dungeon.substack.com, where I tell you what is happening on the show. You're the first people to get to see the finished pieces and get some behind-the-scenes snippets of art and all that fun stuff. As I say, it's free. Come on, check it out. 50 Years in a Dungeon.substack.com. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to be a deeper part of all things Stan, maybe you want to come join my Patreon. Patreon.com/StanX. There is also a free layer of that. More of the stuff goes to people who are at the paid layers. And, of course, becoming a member helps to support and encourage me to do more shows like this, more art like this. The fact of the matter is, as a freelance cartoonist, I have to go where I have to pay attention. I have to spend my time where the money is. So if more money comes over here, I get to spend more time over here. So I would really love it if over the coming year we could grow the number of people who are patrons at patreon.com, and that means I get to spend more time doing all this fun stuff with you all. Anyway, check it out. Join the free level. Start there. That's a good place to start. All right. Thank you all again. Good hanging out with you. I may be back tomorrow. Maybe back Friday. I'll be back soon. Till then, take care.